Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Hilas, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer. You sent me an email that says final stretch. That means that you're coming down to the last few days. You're taking your TOEFL exam on April 16th. Wow, exciting. You're taking a plane. You're going to Rio. You'll stay there, and then you'll take the test. Good luck. I really do wish you the best of luck. And thank you for using my course, especially thank you about offering to give a testimony about my course, video, Skype, whatever. Video would be great. I would love that. If you could say some things about my course by video, and then maybe you can email that to me, or somehow I can get that video, I will post it over at my website as a testimonial. So thank you very much for that. A lot of people have never heard of my course. They don't know how to prepare for the TOEFL. And the fact that I offer the speaking and the writing feedback is a little bit different than what a lot of courses offer. So thank you for that. Okay, so now let's take a look. I'm going to a video. You did some speaking practice. Now, I'm only able to listen to one. I'm going to be honest with you here. I cannot do all six. I'm a professor at California State University, San Bernardino. So my time is limited. I basically have about an hour each day, maybe an hour and a half, to give this kind of feedback to my students. So I'm going to listen to your very first question.
If I had to talk about one important characteristic of a good neighborhood, I would say that's politeness. And to begin...
You're probably taking a little too long to get to the idea. Just say politeness is an important characteristic in a neighborhood. Here's why.
I think it's important to stay long in a place, to stay for a long time. So, for example, we've lived in this neighborhood where people were so impolite that we ended up moving to a new neighborhood.
You want to say so impolite, not apolite. Impolite means not polite, so you had a little bit of problems with that prefix before your adjective there.
And so we didn't stay there for long, for a long period of time.
The only problem is you talked about politeness as being an important characteristic in a neighborhood. Then you talk about maybe you have to live there for a long time. So just make sure that you're connecting your ideas together.
Second of all, I think it's important to create ties with the community. So in my current neighborhood, for example,
instead of saying
every weekend there's something new, there's an event.
Because you're explaining this reason as a topic of that next part of your response. Instead of using it, I would say, secondly, politeness is also an important characteristic because...
So it's important to gather your neighborhoods together.
I wouldn't say gather your neighbors together. It's important to gather neighbors together. Okay, so we're done with that one. Let's take a look at the rubrics here. I think on this one you need a little bit better organization. So I want you to go to speaking lesson number 2. Look at that video on how to create a more sharply focused topic statement in the beginning. You could do better with that. Also, you need to connect ideas together a little bit better, especially as you move to that first support point. So you can go to speaking lesson number 7 to get some tips on that. You had some minor pauses and some minor hesitations. You had that language use problem with the word impolite. I think you said apolite. Topic development was pretty good. Maybe some minor issues there. So I think on this one, I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30. But that's not what you should be getting here. You should score. Because your delivery is so strong, you need to be scoring closer to 28 or 29 points out of 30 on the speaking. This is my opinion, right? So take some time over the next day or two to review at my website. Look at some of those lessons that will teach you how to organize your speaking tasks, right? And then I think try to use those ideas, when you're taking the test on Saturday, I think it is, and I'm hoping that you can get a very, very high score on the speaking section. Because really, you fought most of the battle. Most people cannot score like you do, or they're not going to get a score like you can get because they don't have good delivery. You already have the good delivery. So if you can just make a few minor changes in how you present your information, you should be able to score close to 30 points out of 30 on this speaking practice test. All right? And I think there's one more thing if you want to take a look at it. Let me show you one more thing. If you go over to my website, I'm going to give you an article I want you to take a look at. See if I can find it right now. So go to the speaking part of my course right now, and let's take a look at what this is. Okay, let's see. So under speaking, I think I already gave you some specific things I think you can work on, right? Let's see, I think I said speaking lesson number 2. That's one that you can look at. Maybe speaking lesson 1.6, getting a high speaking score. Take a look at that lesson. How about looking at one more thing? Okay, maybe that's it. Okay, good luck to you, all right?